Rails think they're invisible, but they're not. Both the Sora and the Virginia rail will come out and feed right along the muddy edges. They don't know you can see them, but you can. This particular marsh is on the campus of the University of Maine in Orono. It's called the cornfields because there used to be a lot of corn growing up there, but most of this is just grasslands now with a great marsh through the middle of it. So first things first, we're going to have to fight our way past all the savanna sparrows in the field. Elbow aside all the bobolinks. Brush past all the red-winged blackbirds and a handful of grackles. How are we going to get past all these swamp sparrows? Now this is a marsh. There's a lot of rail species in the world, but in Maine there's basically two species, Virginia rail and Sora, and they're both right at my feet. The Sora is the most widespread and abundant rail in all of North America. They are literally everywhere. If you've got a cattail marsh, chances are they're near you. Virginia rail, same thing. In fact, there's so many in Maine that both these species are actually huntable, and the bag limit is 25. There's so little meat in a rail, why bother? With the cost of ammunition these days, get yourself a crate of lobsters. Most of the time, rails prefer to walk. They have some of the strongest legs in all of the bird kingdom as they push their way through the reeds. But they can swim. Rails are in the same family with coots and gallinules. They can swim and they will. Saw this clapper rail down in New Jersey. It was swimming all over the place. Both the Virginia and the Sora rail are very territorial, but they're in the reeds and cattails and it's difficult to see each other. So they actually talk a lot, especially in morning and night, and you can hear them like midnight squawking. They're trying to avoid bumping into each other. If they do bump into each other, they'll have a little squawking match, and sometimes one will chase the other out of territory. They are very territorial, which helps because that makes them easier to find. You've heard the expression skinny as a rail, but did you know it meant these rails? They are skinny enough to slip between the cattails and the reeds without jostling the plants very much, and that doesn't tip off predators about their location. Another funny thing about rails, like a lot of birds, if you have a popular place with people, but people are confined to like a boardwalk or a path, the rails get used to it and barely notice you going by. So you don't really startle them so long as you're careful. I've been on boardwalks from Nova Scotia to Miami, and the number of times I've looked over the rail and seen a rail is pretty astounding. Another funny thing about the Virginia rail, because it's always pushing through reeds and cattails and sharp sedges, it's got more pigment, more melanin in its forehead to stiffen up the feathers and make them resilient to all that abrasion. Rails. They're only secretive if you don't know the secret. Want some more secrets? Punch the like button, hit subscribe, and let's do it again.